to my hardcore Iron Man playthrough of The Lord of the Rings Online. Here, I'll attempt to reach the max level of 160 on the max level 9 landscape difficulty, which increases incoming damage, decreases outgoing damage, and introduces new dangerous combat mechanics. Sounds easy enough with some trial and error, but here's the catch. Each of my 12 characters, one for each class in the game, have one life. If a character dies, it's dead and is unplayable until another character reaches the next gold level, rewarding one revive. Gold levels start at level 20 and go up by 10 levels each time. I don't even know if this is possible given the infinite dangers in the world of Middle-earth and how difficult level 9 landscape difficulty makes exploring the world, but we'll find that out together. With no auction house or player trading, will I reach max level before losing all 12 of my characters? Let's find out. In the last episode, we leveled our warden to level 12, unlocking level 12 gear, 3 builder gambits, and we crafted some damage and defense scrolls which will use to both do more damage and take less damage. In the last episode, we also lost our Beorning to a dark creature, marking the first death of the challenge. Our Beorning is the toughest of the 12 classes, leaving me with one big question: what do I do next? Not only is my Beorning my primary crafter for heavy armor and metal weapons, he's also my primary gatherer for ore and gemstones. Without him, I can't even begin to level my heavy armor classes. So, I've decided. We're gonna make a run for level 20. And we're gonna make this run with none other than my Minstrel. Before taking on this challenge, I mained Minstrel and knew the ins and outs of the class. It has ranged instant attacks, allowing me to kite, great self-healing, and out of the remaining characters, it's the most self-sufficient both in combat and in being able to craft his own armor and weapons. The only gear I'm missing is jewelry, which I can get some base level 7 for my Runekeeper, and stat point scrolls, which I can get some basic tier 1 scrolls for my Warden. It's a long road to level 20, but I have to make it to revive my Beorning. Okay, so the first thing I did with logging on this morning was open this Hobbit present, and I got a combat run speed boost. This is huge. So when you're in combat, your run speed is lowered, making it difficult to maneuver and to run if things go south. However, with this little feather, if I get myself into trouble, I should be able to slide out of the fray to live to fight another day. I just need to remember I have it, so it's going straight to my hotbar. And with that little surprise out of the way, I want to explain to you guys what the goal is here. This is the map of Ered Luin. It's rated to get us from level 1 to 15, however, I should be able to get to level 17 given this 20% XP gain boost from the landscape difficulty modifier. In episode 0, linked in the description, I cleared through Selendum and Dulon's quests reaching level 12, while also knocking out the wolf and goblin slayer deeds, which I'll explain what those are in a bit. The goal here is to knock out all the remaining quests in the area, allowing me to level up, and complete all the deeds for the region, earning virtue XP, which levels up my virtues. But Hazken, what are virtues? Good question. Virtues are essentially another way to increase stat points without needing armor, weapons, or utility items. You can slot a maximum of 5 for their active bonuses, but each virtue also has a passive increase, which whether it's slotted or not will give you stat points. And in a challenge this difficult, when we get into some of the tougher fights, I'll need every stat point I can get my hands on. So after accepting some quests from Thrassy's Lodge, I headed over to this bear den to start progressing the Link's questline. And here is a great spot to farm Hendrivel, which I'll need for the deed that you saw just pop up. They spawn kind of sparsely throughout the region, but there's always a decent amount of them here at the den, so every time I pass by here, I can clear the area and keep progressing my deed. These birds are also really easy to kill, marked by the green portrait ring, so it's some easy virtue XP. The green represents a swarm mob, and swarm mobs in Lotro, when singled out, kinda just roll over, even when on level 9. However, even swarm mobs, when killed, can spawn something terrifying. After clearing the area and finishing the Link's quest, I was just finishing up these last 3 birds when a shadowy wraith spawns. This is what killed my Beorning. The toughest of my 12 classes lost to this wraith. Why, and what makes it spawn? Shadowy wraiths are a unique mechanic added to legacy servers of Angmar and Mordor, which I'm playing on for this series. These wraiths spawn randomly upon killing a mob around your level. I believe it's about 1 to 2 levels above and below. Now, what makes this so dangerous? The partial answer is the corruption on its bar. That corruption has massive implications for combat. The corruption reduces incoming damage by 70%, making my already reduced 14% outgoing damage a whopping 4.2% damage against this guy. And if that wasn't enough, he also lowers your health with dread, lowers your mitigation against his damage, and does insane damage on hits. All of this makes the Shadow Wraith the run ender every single time he spawns. Luckily, I had plenty of room to disengage and make him rubber band back to the spot where he spawned in, and he'll despawn relatively soon, so I can just knock out the rest of this Lynx quest before heading back that way. However, I have a plan to defeat the Wraith. You see, corruptions like this one can be removed with corruption removal skills. It's just a matter of leveling up and getting the skill. Every class has one. So whenever I see that corruption, I remove it, and boom, I'm back to a staggering 14% outgoing damage. Now, phase 2 of the plan is to get hope tokens to counter the dread, top-notch food and scrolls to max out my stats, maxed out virtues where applicable, and top-of-the-line on-level armor and weapons. This is going to be something I strive to do between now and the first expansion at level 50, the Mines of Moria. Before entering the mines, I have to have defeated at least one shadowy wraith, or the doors won't open. But back to the adventure. After completing the Lynx quest line, I decided to swing by Gondamon, a dwarf fortress, to pick up all the quests so I could hit everything in one fell swoop. Most of these quests were a couple levels below mine, so the mobs I ended up fighting were relatively easy, unless if I got a bunch stacked together, which, of course, what else would I do? So I smacked up some wolves, some bears, and then I came upon a dower hand camp. You see, these guys aren't too scary, as most of them are melee, and I can kite them out. A couple of throwing hatchets, but it doesn't do much because they're still a couple levels lower. But I ended up finding a tied up elf, which of course I'll help out after looting the big glowy chest over there. So I cleared my way through the dwarves, and one last guy to get rid of it, and oh my goodness, nope! That's his chest now. You know, I didn't even want it. I'm here to help out a fellow elf in need. Loot's for greedy dwarves, unlike myself. Wait, did he move? Okay, I'll sneak over here real quick, just to get a scoop. Okay, I'm out of here. And after grabbing that loot like a true barrel rider, let me know in the comments if you get that reference, I stuck around and farmed out the first tier of the Brigand Slayer deed. Only 60 more until I get some virtue points. And I plan to get the rest when we head down to quest in Keldul. But for now, I finished up the last couple quests and went to turn in. And on the cusp of level 14, I'm sent over to the next quest hub of Hod Lin, where turning in the rest of these quests, I reached level 14 and completed Hero of the Ered Luin, which was a deed to complete 30 quests in the region, earning me some virtue XP. So after completely forgetting to slot my trait points and check my virtues, I realized I unlocked a new skill, an out-of-combat revive, which I doubt I'll ever use. This adventuring life is quite lonely. On the road, day and night, smacking up dour hands, avenging the elves, and that's a wraith. Okay. I'll just sneak this chest real quick and then ride on out of here. Okay, so next on the docket, I finally have some on-level quests, which might be exciting. So I'm gonna turn in these under-level ones quickly, catch up on the main storyline, and along the way I'll actually clear out the bird spawns to advance that deed. And then we'll head back and take on the on-level quests. These might actually pose a threat too, because some of these wights are archers, and ranged mobs absolutely wreck me. But that's an issue for future Hazken. Time to reslot these trait points. I've been mainly building towards damage because I don't really need the heavy sustain from blue line. I mean, I have enough healing from green stance, which is like 50-50 damage heals. And then my trait points are getting spec toward crit chance, crit damage, and most importantly, hit chance. Lowering the enemy's resistance to cries and calls, and light damage, and increasing my chance to critically hit has been the name of the game. I could spec into blue line and have infinite healing and basically never die, but I'd also take an age to kill anything, and it'd just be kind of boring. Specking into red and having just enough self-sustain to survive keeps you on my toes, and I think will make better content. Let me know what you think in the comments. So this is a main storyline quest. A lot of the main storyline, which, by the way, amazing story. If you ever tried this challenge or just played Lord of the Rings yourself, read through the main storyline at least. It's really well done. But like I was saying, the main storyline, a lot of it actually happens in instances like this one, and in these instances, your landscape difficulty goes away. I just wanted to show you guys the difference between level 0 and level 9. Like, it's night and day. It looks like I'm smacking everything up pretty easy, but if you watch my health bar when I'm fighting tougher mobs, or even when I'm getting caught in a group, you'll see my health bar dancing like it's at a nightclub. Only from optimal positioning and skill usage am I able to actually out-sustain the incoming damage. Whereas here, in normal difficulty instances, my health bar is barely touched, and I sneeze and everything falls over. So I just wanted to give y'all a baseline going forward. After completing the instance, the follow-up quest took me over to Keldul, and I had a quest to kill a signature to retrieve a stolen boat anyway, so I went knowing that I'll be back when I get the rest of the Keldor quests. And I found Broski walking along the outer wall, so I smacked him up, kited him out. But on my way back to turn in, I realized I had a discovery deed that's almost complete, and the spire I needed was actually inside of Keldor. So I might as well head back in real quick and grab it to earn myself another virtue level or two. Plus, the mobs here have a chance to drop apprentice crafting scrolls, which I'll need to keep supplying my weaker classes with top-notch gear as they level. At some point, I'll have to buckle down and farm up a bunch of these scrolls anyway, so this will give me a decent head start on the grind. Now it's time to get inside the head of Hazken. Whenever I approach areas like this that are walled in and heavily populated, I always get a little nervous because areas I can't fully maneuver are my biggest weakness. It lets mobs get more hits than if I could fully kite, like outside the wall. Plus, in areas like these, the mobs respawn relatively quickly and aren't stationary, so it's very easy to lose track of where mobs are and end up aggroing more than I can handle. Plus, many of these guys, like earlier, have some sort of range with throwing axes, which lets them get damage on me no matter how well I kite. So, I carefully and selectively pull mobs as I traverse through areas like this. And after clearing these last two dour hands that let my health drop a little lower than I should have, I discovered the spire and finished the deed, earning myself 2 more levels on my wisdom virtue, which makes me do more damage and heal for more. On the way back, I was passing the hedgerow area, so I stopped to finish off that deed. And doing so earned me 2 levels on my honesty virtue, which also helps me do more damage. I'm starting to fly through these deeds. A little bit of crafting to max out my apprentice woodworking skill. Oh, and apparently doing this put me to levels 15. Skipped right over that. Another point into critical hit chance. Okay, and now we're finally at the undead area. I just have to kill some of these wights and grab this sword. That's a wraith! I'll sneak this real quick. Okay, as I was saying, the only problem are these archers. I can't kite any of their damage, so I basically just have to eat it and try to out-heal it, or hopefully get a crit with my piercing cry to stun them. Like, if I had one more guy hitting me, there's literally nothing I could do except for pop potions and hope to survive. Oh look, a chest. I'll just carefully make my way up there, systematically taking scoop. Wow, 3 silver. I'm rich. Okay. Next up, I'm already over this way, so I'm gonna go grab the last spot I need to discover to finish my Elf Ruin Explorer deed. And on my way back, I can hit the spider area and finish those quests. Deed complete and Ward Spire discovered. So this gave me 2 levels on my confidence virtue, but now we have a slight problem. My 3 slotted virtues are almost maxed for my level, and if I keep those targeted for earning, it'll overflow and start leveling charity. While that's not a huge issue, I want to start spreading my levels out because of the passive bonuses. The first level of each virtue is a larger gain than the subsequent levels, so if I can get all my virtues leveled to at least 1, I can give myself a solid HP boost and or a slight damage boost depending on if I'm doing a shield or a sword virtue. For now, I decided to start earning wit because I should unlock my 4th virtue slot here soon, and this one helps with my hit chance and crit damage, which is big for my outgoing damage. And now it's time for the last set of quests before the culmination of all these quests end in a brutal area. Here, I need to cull the spider population and escort a dwarf cook out of the spider lair. Spiders are actually one of the few mobs on my radar for being a real threat. They inflict poisons which lower my defenses and sometimes ticks my health down, similar to the ticky tickies in my warden. But even worse, spiders can root you in their webs, making you unable to move, and for me, not being able to kite when 3 pop out of their webs can be a very quick death sentence, especially when I come through here on my hunter. Here, I'm able to use my fear to bring the numbers back down to 2, and then crit on my piercing cry, stunning this one, knocking it down to only 1 hitting me, which I can eat the incoming damage of, and then quickly end the fight. This time, it turned out well, but I'll have to be a little bit more careful when approaching an area like this in the future, especially when leveling my characters like Hunter, Burglar, or Champion. I end up finding the dwarf at the top of the hill. Now I just need to escort him out as waves of spiders spawn in and try to attack on top of the spiders that naturally spawn here that I didn't clear out before activating the escort. Though I'm starting to get better at using my fear to single out enemies in a group fight, which will help me out. Scoop! Right there, that's the route I was talking about earlier. There's no way out of that route except for waiting for it to expire. I was going crazy for a second editing this, watching back through the footage. I was certain I got rooted, but I couldn't find the clip. With the help of Bursty, we cut through the legs and webs and finished the first tier Spider Slayer. And after a quick detour to finish some kill duel quests that I missed, once again letting my health drop way too low, twice. I really gotta start watching those Tiki Tikis in my own bar. I turned in and headed to the final area of Ered Luin to face my toughest challenge yet, Rath Teraig. Before we head in, I'll give you guys a little bit of lore. So, as I've been questing through the region, I've been uncovering a plot formulated by the goblins who have teamed up with the Dour Hands to get the elves and the dwarves of the region to fight. Upon discovering this, we're now heading into Rath Teraig, where the goblins' numbers and strength have grown. My quest is to lower the goblins' numbers and take out one of their chieftains, and take out many of the nasty creatures that are bred out of control in the area. A side quest we'll be doing is discovering all the points of interest to complete our deed to explore all of Rath Teraig, which will give us not just 2 levels, but 4, as it will complete the region deed of Ered Luin Explorer as well, giving me a massive virtue boost. And while we're here, we'll also knock out our last Slayer deed, Spider Slayer, which also will yield 4 levels, completing Spider Slayer and Slayer of Ered Luin. After completing all these goals, we should be ready to head east out of Ered Luin to Bree, where level 20 awaits. With these goals in mind, let's set out. I plan on heading around the area clockwise, and since Rath Teraig's a big circle, I'll be able to hit everything. First location found. Time to head south after a quick scoop. I was taking out some of these milk guys when I got to say hello to Mr. Wraith, and then I quickly said an Irish goodbye. Discovered the southern barricade. And here is where I'll be spending the next 15 minutes farming spiders. Scoop! Oh, that was a good one! I might actually be able to craft some armor with the brush medium hides. Oh, perfect! That spawned a ton of spiders. Okay, this is actually a little bit more than I can handle. I'm gonna kite really hard here. The pathing of mobs in this game is kind of messy when I jump up on rocks like this, which gives me some more distance, allowing me to avoid a lot of damage. But thank goodness I had stuns. Too easy. Oh my god, there's more. Great for deed farming, not great for my health. Okay, so I'm basically done, but the spider stopped spawning for some reason, so I'll just have to finish the deed on some random spawns throughout the valley. So I believe that way winds up to a point of interest, and I know for a fact there's one at the top of this middle mountain. I just need to clear my way through. Oh man, these stingers are gonna hurt. They're primarily spear throwers and can also root me, allowing the melee guys to catch up to me. And these two are getting my health so low, just by themselves. Oh, and there's the root. We're good though. I should be able to add this guy because I got my healing up. There we go, much better. And a stun will finish this guy off nicely. Oh my gosh, no, not now. Why here? Okay, so this is not good. I'm now stuck between a full goblin camp, a wraith which possibly moves into the camp, and a cliff. None of these are good options, but I have to choose the poor goblins here in the camp because I think it's the only direction I can live. Also, luckily, it looks like the Wraith started walking down the hill, which will give me some breathing room, but he's definitely still close because I still have his dread debuff. So these guys, the sappers, have fiery oil balls that they just throw at you like that. It's a nasty frontal spike and great damage over time if I stand in it, so a root paired with the sapper would be really bad. But this guy by himself ain't a biggie. Okay, so that's an elite. I didn't realize we had elites on this mountain. This sapper shouldn't aggro anyone else. A piercing cry crit will stun him here, making him drop his oil ball on himself. I'll just clear this guy real quick. I want to take this guy on and see how strong he is. So if you remember, in the last episode, I briefly mentioned elite mobs and how they're tougher than normal mobs. I believe tier 3, they hit way harder and take a lot more to kill. But some lucky stuns and a nice fear here will finish this guy off. Okay, now we gotta work our way up to the peak. So, oh, I actually already have the point of interest, maybe from passing by close to the bottom, but I still want to go up there. It'll still be a great challenge because literally everything up there is an elite mob at the top, and I'm curious if I can get some really good loot. Cue combat montage. Okay, so this is gonna take forever. Guys, I've got a plan. So basically, I need to very tactfully maneuver through, traverse the elite mob charge! The plan worked perfectly. And now I'm stuck, or is it tactically positioned for optimal success ratios? Oh, look at Chief. No loot chest though. So, next plan. Now that I'm up here, I'm going to try to steal any loot chest I can find. I obviously will die if I aggro more than one goblin up here, but who knows what we'll get from the chests. We gotta try. We're going to try not to fall to my death here. There it is. Lock in. Hazken going dark. Super secret scoop. Okay, low-key, that loot wasn't anything crazy, but we have an upgrade. We'll take it. Mission successful. Ooh, and a Taylor scroll. Okay. Let's slide up there and see if we can find any more loot chests. I don't see any more loot, so now we have to make our escape. Let's ride! How do I get out? Later! Geronimo! Oh my god, I survived! Okay. Oh my god, they're following! There ain't no way, my legs are broken! I can't run! Ooh, piece of candy. Oh my god. Okay, let's go. Are you gonna rubber band? No? Okay, you want some? Come get some! Okay, let's take a deep breath now, everybody. In. Out. Good. Okay, so, by sheer luck, or possibly by design, we've landed right next to the chieftain we need to kill. I'll just quickly fear this guy away. Wait, was there a chieftain here? I didn't see a chieftain. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So there's one more point of interest for Rath Teraig, and it's through here. So my thought is my master plan that I executed up top, I want to try to do here. Hi, future editing Hazken here. Completely missed going from level 15 to 16. For those who care, it happened when I was turning in the last couple quests before coming here. But yeah, back to it. All right, we ride, we get the point of interest, then we dip. Oh my god, I'm aggroing so many. No, am I even gonna make this? Oh no. I got a combat run speed boost. This is huge. No, there's so many. Feather, I need you. Catch me now. There ain't no way. Okay, 2 I can handle. Oh my god. I survived. I'm done. I'm leaving. We're finishing the Spider Slayer deed and we are out of here. I can't believe we actually survived that. And boom, Slayer of Ered Luin complete. Oh my goodness. We made it. All the way through the circle of Rath Teraig. So, with the evil of Rath Teraig all but taken care of, I finished up the main storyline instance, which allowed me to discover the last point of interest in Rath Teraig, leaving me with one more exploration deed, which I then proceeded to ride across the northern parts of Ered Luin to complete, while also finishing all the starter quests for the dwarves, simply because I'm a completionist and I love 100%ing an area before I leave. And I reached level 17 after finishing all these lower level quests. I then proceeded to get every recipe I could learn from the novice tailored merchant, and then crafted as much level 15 armor as I could with the resources I got from all those loot chests I scooped up. And with all this done, I took a horse far to the east, to the west gate of Bree, where our journey continues in the next episode.